Hello, we're going to have a little bit of a talk about the current astrology, the moon transits, and how it's affecting each of your zodiac signs. Now, although for the 18th, the moon is transiting Taurus, and I'm having a feminine issue, I've broken it. Well, it was twin actually, broke my nail. I mean, how could you, right? Taurus, moon transiting Taurus, my Venus energy is very peeved at the moment. But we're going to have a quick talk about how some of the vibes can be coming through, the emotional energy, how we're dealing with the current transits. And I started saying to my partner, I said, the most hilarious thing in a reading sense would be memes relating to music. I mean, you've got to go with the comedy, guys. You really have to go with comedy. So I'm just briefly writing down as we're having a quick chit chat. For those of you, I cover astrology, twin flame path, I'm psychic medium. I do coaching relating to the spiritual aspect of things and viewpoints. So that's a 101 of me to try and sum it up very briefly. So we're going to look at the energy. We did have Uranus and Taurus square Saturn and Aquarius yesterday. I will at some point be doing a little bit of an update. I'm trying to get a template done and it's going to be, I'm going to really hone in on country astrology. Also to do with the current trends of astrology, what can be coming up with weather patterns, agriculture, money, innovation, and how certain countries can be experiencing those dynamics. And I may have a chat about it in the house today. To do with the themes that are coming through with this Saturn and Aquarius, Uranus and Taurus. I had a chat to Adam this morning and, he was actually laughing about the circumstance and so was I. And I really was moving through that day going, penny little, is the sky going to fall down? And it's still there today. So we're going to have that aspect occurring both on the 17th and the 18th, but it will set the tone for the next, for the whole year, really. So moving over, we will have that aspect occurring again. June 14th, and I'll pay close attention to it then. So at the moment, because we do have Mars in Taurus and we have the moon in Taurus, our emotions are coming up relating to this, and it can be disempowerment. We're looking at weather trends. Now, Mars relates to electricity. It can relate to fire, energy, police. It's currently in the house of Taurus, but we did have the moon transiting Aries. So collectively, we have seen weather patterns change. That's because we are going to have the nodes in Gemini till next year. So the one thing I can say is you can expect more wind. In some areas, it can be colder, and there is going to be extremities with that. And I find it really unique that we had this occurring during Mercury retrograde. So with the Saturn in Aquarius squaring Uranus and Taurus, I'll talk briefly about some themes. And the one thing is, number one, weather patterns. So as I've mentioned in previous videos, I've done it on Facebook and Instagram, for the FYI. I had mentioned this for a while that I saw this as a potential with the weather patterns. Now, we have Aquarius as the rebellion. We also have it as community and tribe. So although sometimes when we're healing through things, we can be very fixated on what's happening in our circle, there's also that large collective energy of responsibility and social commitments. And that can be true the area we're living. It can be in the country we're living and what we directly can do in a sense of being a humanitarian and helping with that direct situation. I do feel that's going to come through very largely this year, where there can be circumstances that we are doing community work, that we're helping individuals getting through adversity for the greater cause of it all. And I'll give you one example. Here in Australia, we had floods. We've had bushfires. We've had, again, lockdown energy and things to that degree. But there's also, because Taurus directly relates to agriculture, you'll find that during Mercury retrograde, you tend to find that selling things, you'll get a higher value for it. So homes will be worth more during this time that Mars is currently in Taurus, but then it will be more expensive for, say, a renter, you find. And there can be cross wires, not the best time to sign contracts, which is quite, stated largely in astrology at the moment. But very separately, they do talk about the fact that, with Mars and Taurus, We were seeing things to do with banking, money, the stock market, different shifts happening there. But you were also having to be quite resourceful because Taurus is a Venus energy, but because it's in the house of Uranus, it's sudden changes. It's a bit like we're trying to build that pyramid and things keep going pear-shaped. So most recently in the media, we had that Queensland, it was waiting to actually, have the fruit and produce on the farms collected. Now, due to the fact it's Mercury retrograde, it's causing complications in that sense to bring those people together. And we did have Saturn and Aquarius squaring Uranus and Taurus, which meant it's almost getting handed down to the people to problem solve. It's like, it's a bit like saying, okay, it's the farmer's issue, which technically, at that point it is because it's Saturn, it's the accountability, but Uranus and Taurus, the need for innovation, for looking outside the box, the difficulties, being drawn to light of these circumstances. And we're going to see this collectively. So we potentially, being that the nodes are in Gemini, may need to help each other through adversity this year, but have to think on our feet. And that's where the innovation is going to come from. So that could be technology. It could be the people in that area actually working together to help the situation, especially because we have weather in America, where they've been experiencing blackouts and things to that degree. It's really forcing us to look at these problems. And today we do have Mars trining Pluto. What does that mean? Well, it's in Taurus. It's bringing it to a head about an end of a situation, a death of a situation, but something that we need to do in a quality system. So, for instance, okay, we have rules and regulations here, how we navigate that during this, situational shit that we're all going through. But it's okay, how can we think outside the box to problem solve? So emotions at the moment are coming up very Marsy, I'll just say, especially when it does come to our finances, our ability to look after ourselves, how we're doing that creatively. But I do feel for a lot of you, it is tapping into the shadow of what do we need to let go of. Now, the reason I say that is because the shadow sign of Taurus is Scorpio. Scorpio is very Pluto in nature, so something's coming to a head spiritually for us. Emotionally, a lot of you might be feeling as though you need to let something go. This can also be tying up debts. A lot of us are trying to tie up those debts and things to that degree. And trying to look at what we need in a luxury sense, being thrifty with our cash, being cautious, being more mindful and eco-friendly to do with the environment. But emotions also in a pain body experience. And I'm going to go through zodiac sign by zodiac sign. And the one meme this morning that came through for Libra, because you do have Mercury retrograde in Aquarius, and it's in Venus, and we had Uranus and Taurus scoring Saturn. The themes that I'm seeing coming through is it's almost like I'm hearing the buck stops here. And this is for everyone collectively. The buck stops here in a sense of, okay, there may be too many responsibilities on each of us individually in a certain domain of our life. And there could be tension points and cracking points. There may need this resolve. All these problems could be coming up. We could be voicing them. We could be feeling them. Projection can be coming towards us. So the one song that came through, and it was What Now for Libra. And it's like white noise, too much coming at you. It's like you got 99 problems because you had the moon the last 2 days transiting Aries. So it's still going to roll over to the 18th. And some of you can be feeling as though you're trying very hard to emotionally sort things yourself. Hi, sweet. But you also may find that a lot of external, and especially with feminine energies, because moon is feminine, Pluto is mother. A lot of us collectively could be having issues to do with mothering, to do with being a parent, to be doing with, how to nurture and start something. But it's also emotions relating to that. And again, Pluto connects into grandmother, mother energy, with the moon at the moment transiting Taurus. So I do feel that for Libras, and I'm going to pull a card per one. I'm going to have a bit of a chat to you. Now, the need at the moment to look at, this is a very important retrograde. The reason I say that is because, as we talked about this big event with both Saturn and Jupiter entering into Aquarius, we have to understand this has not happened in history before. So all of us are almost like experiencing the 101 of the age of Aquarius and what that's going to mean. And it's not necessarily that we have seen the most attractive element of that stage, but we have seen it's a bit like turning up at the airport, and you're weighing your luggage and it's like, wow, that's a bit heavy. Sorry, you can't take that on board. It's going to be too costly. It's going to hold you back. So we've had to let go of some things. And so the person saying you can't take it all with you and really be very logical about what you're going to hone your energy into, what's important, what's relevant and what's not, and what you just got to dump in the trash. So it's showing the cracks in the system, in society, in our own personal lives of what we needed to sift out, forgive, forget, maybe leave to a better sunny day and just go, do you know what, and so Libra at the moment, because you had the moon transiting Aries, remember we have Aries and Chiron there for about 7 years. Pay always very close attention to sun or moon or anything entering Aries. It's, you guys had that for a very long time last year. So it can become very exhausting when it does come to contracts, emotions, people's projection, and you're just like, look, okay, I feel as though the Taurus energy coming through as well, man, resources can be a problem. You may be working at that, or again, it could be self-esteem. It's like, look, I'm trying to work on my foundation. I don't, you don't just want to, and this is just an analogy. It doesn't mean this is what you're going through. We work to live, but you got fifth house, and it's like, you're not going to knock your head against a wall with circumstances, Libra. So for a lot of you, it's if people are underappreciating you, you're probably going to mask them. You're going to be like, look, I've got 99. I'm not listening to this white noise. And that was the one thing coming through for Libra right now. It's like, look, a lot of us in the collective that potentially could be working from home in the dynamics that we have with family. The one thing I was guided to actually look at was those of us, really, I need to make the readings as practical as possible because this is a very unique time that we're going through and we need the support relating to that. So I'm trying to be more like-minded as to particularly where potentially some of you guys are coming from so that the resources and the services I'm actually giving you are going to suit to help you get through 2021. So the one thing I'm noticing is for those of you dealing with maybe a family member or someone that's not well, or living with a child and having to work from home, whatever those dynamics are, how we can deal with that effectively and also balance the connection. And I do feel at the moment, mother-father energies, parents, as well as children, we all have a very different viewpoint, and trying to get that Aquarius tribe energy to match is going to be a little bit testing at the moment during Mercury retrograde. So if you're having a diabolical time with those circumstances, my love and thoughts are with you. It's not that it's going to be temporary. It is going to be temporary because that polarity will ease up as we get Mercury going direct by the 21st. But a lot of you may be finding a lot of stress when it comes to work colleagues, because we're having this very personal transit with Mercury retrograde at the moment. So I'm going to pull a card for Libra. My thoughts and love are with you, Libra. Use the comedy. You guys are really great at comedy. You have to for your psychology. You got Virgo on the 12th. Be careful of over-absorbing. We're moving into the full moon in Virgo soon, which I'll do an energy update relating to that. With the Virgo energy, because it's on your 12th, you need to be mindful of what you absorb, and you're going to need to find some room for less white noise so you can have an unwind, so you can process all that's happened and redirect that energy in a healthy fashion. I do highly suggest with the 7th house activation, be physical, utilize your sacral chakra energy on something productive. So be it you're laughing, be it you're having a cold shower, or you're exercising, or you're doing, you're going to need to, if there's pent up energy in you, go and use it on something. If it's other people, remove yourself from white noise, create the healthy boundary and go, look, take a tag, right? You're at the checkout. You wanted to get some deli stuff. Okay, take a number. I've got the first number. I'll be with you soon. It's a karmic cycle you're trying to turn up. You're trying to generate a brand new beginning, and it takes time. Some of you are starting new things. Some of you are really depleted energetically, and it can feel very nervous, especially if you're very focused on a task and you're able to self-master and manage. It doesn't necessarily mean everyone else can, because you've got Aries in the blimmin' 7th house. So everyone's going to come at you, Libra. Now, moving, you will have, let's see. Taurus is hitting the 8th house, which again is Pluto. Look, I'm trying to get my life together. I'm trying to do these things. This is impacting. This comes top of the list. Well-being, structure, foundation, family unit, what the validity of it is. Are people working as a team? You're trying to tie up those loose ends, okay? I'm telling you, we always go to the glass half full, but then when we see other people's perspective, we're like, heck, I don't want to do that. Aquarius. Oh, God, Aquarius. Okay, Aquarius, some of you are having a sudden return. So my love and thoughts with you. It's hard. It's a personal transit. It's first house, similar to what Aries is going through, with the fact that we have Chiron and Aries, which is a very personal transit for them individually. War wounds relating to self. For you, Aquarius, let's have a good hunt and look. And I've got the blooming light in the way. Okay, number one, we have Mercury retrograde. So don't cement everything right now, I would say. If you feel you've made a major decision, it's better to retain information, absorb it, eat it, digest it. Okay, and this sounds horrible, and it's an analogy. It's not. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. In gardening, when I use manure, this sounds weird. I never get chicken. And the reason is because the process of that stomach doesn't break it down. And if they're eating seed, you're going to get weeds in the garden. I'm just saying. So I would always use wet cow manure or organic produce that you have, which is recycled and breaks down naturally. So it's almost like the analogy is the cow with the stomachs, it goes through a natural process. This is a weird analogy. So take time to process. Sit with it. Nervous energy, you'll feel digestion-related issues. Like, take a little bit of time to digest what's going on. Don't make an assessment right now because you had Venus there. All your contracts are under question. But do remember, it's not a one-sided transaction. We can make decisions and the buck can stop here. So it does go both ways. It takes two to tango. So in that circumstance, relating to contracts, choosing your battles, choosing the situations and going, okay, let me just take some time to digest this. What are you needing? What am I needing? Because you are the rebellion of it, which is fantastic, but you've got to know your time and place, right? And I was saying this to my daughter the other day because each Aquarian has their own energy, plus there's 12 houses. So it's not every zodiac sign is exactly the same. No, there's house systems, but your personal zodiac is by your time of birth, location. So we're giving a sum up of that energetically. So for Aquarius, I would say you also had Mercury. Your thoughts, your actions, what you're doing under assessment, your connections in assessment. You will always see both the 1st and the 7th house as a correlating energy, and that's what's going on with you guys. When we had the nodes in Cancer and Capricorn, I learned this very well. 1st house, me. 7th house, the connections. It takes two to tango. Some of it I actually learned. Nobody expected me to do those things. I thought they wanted me to do them. So don't think for a second it's a one-sided. Hi, Canada. I hope you're looking after yourself. Especially those of you, in Texas and that, in Queensland. My love and thoughts are to you wherever you are in the world. So with the Aquarius energy, strongly, firmly, highly suggest, breathe. Be patient. Understand not everyone thinks like you. It's not a personal thing, but just pause at the moment because this energy is very overwhelming this month, and it's for everyone collectively, including you. Now, Taurus is hitting in your 4th house. Yes, sudden changes relating to home can come up. Sudden changes relating to your relationships inside those sections, and value systems. Taurus, Venus. Okay, you want a beautiful house? Brittany, you better work. Yeah, okay. It's that kind of analogy, but it could be family related dynamics. It could be value systems coming up. It may be the need to move home or the money. And, what do I do? You've got to be really careful. Saturn in Aquarius is saying, hey, what is your responsibility inside that circumstance? Yeah. And it could be, hey, someone's dumped you with all of that and there's not sharing in the house. So it can go either way. This is not a judgment. This is a viewpoint. Then you've got the 4th house in Taurus, and this is going to be happening all year, guys. So pre-warned, forearmed. You're going to have an epiphany through this transit. We've had Mercury retrograde. We've had Valentine's Day. Thanks, great. We've had the new moon in Aquarius, midpoint of Mercury retrograde. Then we've jumped over to Uranus in Taurus squaring Saturn in Aquarius. Uranus and Taurus changes things abruptly. Now, the writing's on the wall. Whatever theme is playing out for you, be it it's family, be it it's how you're relating, be it it's connections, inner child wounds, finances, what you need to do, be it it's on your side or another person's side, look at it right now. Because the difficulty could be dealing with it, and it can be very painful. It may be, okay, I want to buy a house. Well, what are we going to do with it? Yes, we're having adverse circumstances. What can you do? And it's aspected all year for you. So it could even be having to do too much for everyone. 4th house placement, you tend to be, your errands, you're running about. Oh, it's okay. No, I've got no time. I'll do that for you. No drama, love. It can be to the detriment, but it teaches you structure. It teaches you what the responsibilities are inside that. It's a little bit like a parent teaching a child how to budget. And hey, I was an adult going through that, right? So it's emotional. Now, Virgo is going to hit, thank you for reminding me, your 8th house, taxes, paperwork, legacies, deep connections. Does that make sense? Okay, so with that, pause. Don't jump the gun. Be practical. Be rational. Whatever's coming up, I'm going to do each zodiac sign. It's showing you what needs to change, but it's not one-sided, right? Pause. I'm going to pull a card for you. This is going to take a while. I could be here 2 hours. Jeez. Now, if we do go to a super chat, I'm doing it separately because it makes the video too long. I'm just saying. Chariot. You got to move forward, but you best think about it. Think about it. Mercury retrograde, potentially not the best time to sign contracts. If you're going to do it, sometimes these things can be sudden. Bang, I don't have a house. Oh, crap. I mean, it doesn't mean that's going to happen. I'm just saying if that has happened and it was like, oh, I wasn't expecting that. Do you get what I'm saying? It's like, but it could be, hey, you win a lotto and bang, you've got a house. Because Uranus gives and takes, but it's for the betterment. You have to trust the process. And of course, you have, Saturn, Jupiter, and Aquarius. You guys are growing. You may be outgrowing your home. You may be outgrowing the rules and regulations. You may be outgrowing the vibe of the tribe. Vibe of the tribe. Yeah. Got new merch coming. I'm telling you, I was talking to Adam about that. I'm like, I'm going to vibe with the tribe. I'm going to make some crazy stuff on YouTube. Okay? How does this make you feel? Why? Okay, now let's get on to Gemini. Gemini, oh heck. Okay, Mars is entering your house next month. 3rd, pre-warned, forearmed. Try not blow people's head up. You'll have a lot more energy, I will say, right? At the moment, it's in Taurus. We have the moon transiting Taurus. My ear's ringing. Okay, you guys are going to get some news. Let's have a look at Taurus. For you, it's very personal. Let's look at Taurus in Gemini's house. Oh God, okay. I feel for you, lovelies. Now, Gemini, you are creatively trying to work out how to get things paid. Creatively thinking on what you felt luxury was, what you felt love was, and how it relates, and it all's just going. Does that resonate? Anyone in the house that is a Gemini? You also have Aquarius moving through your 9th house, and some of you may want to move. Some of you are thinking about schooling. Some of you are thinking about education. You could be working with children, sibling-related dynamics coming up. So with it, your psychology, it's temporary. Pause, pause, pause. Emotions coming up. Emotions coming up relating to that. Remember, it's a mindset. It can shift. Money manifestation it's in the head. You could be thinking very creatively. Okay, all questions I'll answer at the end. So, feel free to chat. But, it's funny, though, because when you're fixated on it, what I found, sometimes that's 3D. There's the 3D element. And, I don't even, it's not even the laws of attraction. It's energy. Go back and listen to a Tesla video. It is pure energy. When we gain weight, it's energy. We are blocking things in our chakras. It's very simple. If you have a blockage at the moment, Aries, at the moment for you, Gemini, is hitting your 11th house, hopes, dreams, and aspirations. Do you resonate with that anymore? Can you do it? Are you able to? Don't second guess yourself. One way not to do it is eliminating. Another way you'll never do it, and you're one step closer to that goal. Okay? When you're nervous, focus on purpose and service. Gemini, write your creative ideas down. You want to do it? Write the problems down. Get them out of the head so you can relax, because it's too hard. Hesitation, no point. No, look, sometimes it's like the Hermit card. I wouldn't be surprised if the fucking Hermit card comes out. Excuse my French. Okay, what do we need to know for Gemini? Because the Hermit card is, and this happened to me, it's like an ascension. It's like, okay, I was working in the nursing industry for years. I did scheduling. I was training staff. Jack of all trades, wound care, you name it, I did it. Then I started this, and, I was in a huge transition. I was seeing fives, 2021 as a 5 man. So when I started this, there was actually no turning back after a certain point. And I was like, okay, you got no choice. You just keep working it. Okay, I found a flaw in the system. I mean, I'm still every day a student in my business. And I try to better it each time. I have hundreds of creative ideas. But again, Saturn, the Lord of restriction, be practical, because it's going to be hard work anyway. Make that plan, Gemini. Make the plan. Relationships have been tough for you guys, but you're entering into a new dawn, especially Taurus. We'll get into that in a minute. Okay, your ego, it's just in your head. Stop sabotaging yourself. Stop sabotaging yourself. I'm not hearing white noise. You can do this. Find a problem, find a solution. We have Uranus and Taurus there. Be creative. Be the innovator of the zodiac sign. You've got it. Okay? Let's move on to Cancer. Okay, Cancer. 10th house placement, I'm telling you. I know this because I've got Cancer in my bloody chart. It's like, Moon transiting for the 18th. Okay, I'm talking about both the what date is it? 17th to the 18th. We're going from Aries over to Taurus. It's the same because we've got Mars there, so it's energy point blank zero. Emotions relating to the transformation in that house, and wounds relating to it. You've got to find where your flaw is, Aries and Chiron. Mars is Aries anyway. And then it's currently transiting Taurus. So we're talking about those two placements in the current energy between the 17th and the 18th, wherever you are in the world. Okay, who was I doing? Cancer. Cancer. I hope this is helping. It's helping me tune in anyway. Okay, Pluto, there is something to do with the contract that you're needing to tie up. But, tying up loose ends relating to your emotions, relating to your relationships, letting something emotionally go so it doesn't sabotage you. This can also be in work, employment, people. Okay, responsibility falls on two sides of the fence, guys, not one. If you're moving into that consciousness of that, let it go. It's not serving you. You have Aquarius sitting at 8th house. Again, Pluto, let it go. We don't owe the world everything. You can't. Saturn, Lord of restriction. We can't do everything for everyone. Everyone will always want something. It's true. Is it feasible? Probably not. And that because we're human as human beings. You want the deep connections. You want the deep commitments. You're digging through the trash and you're dumping it. And you have Gemini on the 12th. So your mind can become very busy, but you're learning to actually articulate how you feel, but you're not a rat in a cage. You are a free queen or soldier in your own life, and your creative ideas count, as well as understand that in your employment, you have 10th house placement, Aries in the 10th. Aries in the 10th. Let's talk about that. How people see you is a them issue. You can't change people's minds. That's not about you. How you turn up at work, you do the best, you be yourself, you've got the ideas, someone will vibe or someone won't tribe. It is what it is. You can be very strict at the moment with circumstances, but there could be a lot of tension with things that you're trying to address in life through work, through career, through showing up in life, through other people, through people acknowledging you for the sacrifices you've made. The last video I did was pretty much, pretty interesting. Now, Taurus is landing in your 11th house. You're like, is this my hope and dream? Okay, I'm working hard. I expect a hope and a dream. But it's like you're making some major plans. You're ready to make major plans. You're like, okay, I've got to let that go. I did my best. Okay, I'm going that way, but psychologically, you've got to understand, Cancer, you guys are very psychic. You guys are emotive. You're very emotional. But it's not that you are a crybaby. It's that you care. Okay, you care. But guess what? We can't care and overcare for people that don't care. That's them. Middle up. I'm just saying. You can't. At work, if somebody doesn't notice you, that's their glass ceiling. You go take you elsewhere, boo, okay? Because you don't need that. Now, yes, there's a process. There's rationale. There's responsibility. All right? So get that, right? Hard. You can have your hopes and dreams. You're going to have your hopes and dreams. You work hard. You play hard. But at the moment, I do feel that you're committed to that. You're committed to making your hopes and dreams come true. But because you have Gemini on the 12th, you're addressing the psychology and the thoughts. Don't keep them all in your head. Make them a reality. Don't dream the dream. Live the dream. Now, something's making you feel a little bit unprepared, and it's because people are seeing you, good and bad. How they see you bad, them issue, okay? You maybe don't know completely what it is yet, but it's also you feel you've had to, in your life, put your dreams on hold due to other people, and this could be something that's major for you guys this year, because where's Aquarius for you? Okay, you have Aquarius, like I said, in your 8th house. Now, 8th house can be life, death, money, legacies. It's the humanitarian. You've got Saturn and Jupiter there. So there could be this push-pull energy for you guys all year, point blank zero, of, oh, my gosh, they need me. Oh, my gosh, they need me. You need you too. So do look after yourself, but also move those creative dreams. You have a lot of abundance coming. You could actually have some really great things coming. Again, please don't tell me, Cancer, you're not ready for this. Okay, I'm not listening. You're talking to your head. Stop it. Stop it. I'm talking to you, Cancer. Okay. Scorpio. Oh, Pluto. Well, look, your shadow sign's Taurus, okay? You're facing a shadow. Connections. You're having to face your shadow inside of your connection zone. Is it something you need to emotionally let go of? Is it a belief? Is it something that you feel you have to do? Is it value systems and belief systems? Are there cross wires? The moon, you could be having the best day. You could be living the dream, but you're pouring, you got to be careful, because today, plus we had Uranus and Taurus squaring Saturn and Aquarius. You could be a bit short with people at the moment and a little bit nervous to do with circumstances that are changing. Okay. So if you're like, it's because you have that aspect there. Okay. If you need to say something, the red light's there. If you've got to let something go and it's been on your mind and you're going to mask somebody, breathe, you've got this Scorpio. If your suspicions have come to light and you're like, listen here, MF, it work. People are going to irritate you. Emotions, moon, female energies. Just be careful. Mother, Pluto. There's things coming up. Be mindful of it, okay? Be mindful. Let's get a card. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Let me have a chat about your chart. Be careful, you got Capricorn on the 3rd. Yes, you can articulate it, but do it effectively. Speak effectively. Remember, it's Mercury retrograde. All the things you said, running through my head. Yeah, I know. Careful. Careful. Say it from your point of view to tie it up. What's your intention? I'm just saying, I can see it. And I'm like, look, and I've got Venus there. Look, and the funny thing is, because I got Libra in my chart and I know my own birth chart, I know Libra's at the moment with contracts with Aries there is like, no. Okay, look. Moon transiting. Okay, shh, calm down. This isn't actually my wound. This is a projection, and a projection is the reflection. Go look at you, boo. Okay? You need to be in awareness of astrology, of how it affects our vibe. Moon energy, moonology. Scorpio, the death card, which I said, Pluto. You're trying to bring things to an end. You want stability. You're like, look, listen, Linda, like, come on, man. I'm trying to work, I'm trying to clean, I'm trying to do this, I'm trying to do that. You've got 4th house placement as well with Aquarius, oh yeah. Social responsibility. You have too much on your plate. Why are you overburdening yourself? You're setting yourself up for disaster. I'm just saying. Pick your path, but don't pick them all. It's going to be a burden. A manageable situation. If too much is going on, dolls and guys, that's why, okay? This is going to set you up perfectly for the rest of the year. And the last project was saying, this is happening for us. And I was like, oh, dang, YILDIZ, you've got to take that, because I didn't know what was going to come out. I knew some of the channeled energies that I'd seen, but I was like, okay, what does this mean? Gibo ruin relates to, sometimes we think this is all for nothing. It's like, can we just get the heck out of Mercury retrograde? What's the age of Aquarius? There's the rebellion. What's the point? Everyone, he said, she said, meh. It's like, it feels overwhelming. It's too much, but it's happening for us. We don't get that yet. So it's showing the cracks in the structure. It's also showing us and me. It's like, that's not going to work. Okay, I need to shift this about a bit. Yeah. Oof. I felt, yep, but it's not a one-sided transaction. Aquarius is a group. It could be your connection. It could be your relationship, your contract, what you're currently doing. You've got to tie something up, but, spiritual energies will try to see this effectively, but I can't guarantee you other people will. That's where the BS comes from. You can't control that. It's that of what is outside of you. And if you're needing to tie it up, it may mean removing people from tribe. Simply. My oldest son, Scorpio, yep, he is overburdened. Yeah, it's family at the Aquarius. Social society paradigms. I did say there'd be a split in the collective, and I do think families are shifting about at the moment, because if it's unmanageable, even if it's socially acceptable, it's what is health, moon and Virgo. Full moon and Virgo, might I add. It's been preparing us and showing us, you've been dealing with this for years. Some of these things, all of us collectively. It'll be okay, sweep it under the carpet. Nah, it's changed for a few more months. And look, even with families, children change every few years. It's like, okay, I'm a new mum now. I'm a new dad. Yeah, that's fine. Work colleagues, same thing. Energies, people change. They've got circumstances happening at home, and they bring that crap to work. Right? And you go, I can't change you. The vibe, the tribe has changed. Do I resonate? No. Okay, whatever this is, Scorpio, you do have the power to choose. And it's a crappy situation, right? When we have to be put in the judge's position, which we all collectively are, right? Whenever we're making a decision, no decisions is a decision. I can't even speak. A decision is a decision. Is it wrong or right? No, it's just a bloody decision. And, if it doesn't work, you try a different way. But for some reason, you guys could be tying up bills. You could be changing things around. There could be renovations with fourth house during Mercury retrograde. What a nightmare. Pluto, that's what happens. And I'm laughing because for Libra, I will say Mercury retrograde devices will break. Why? Is because Capricorn's there and we're ending the cycle of Capricorn. Pluto's there for another 3 years. We've got Saturn and Aquarius and Jupiter. But mid-year, Jupiter's moving into Pisces. Another tone we all take again in growth. So we've got half a year now after this Mercury retrograde. What your findings are, you need to address. It's going to set you up, not for disaster, for success. Because the year of the ox, the white metal ox, is you're going to bust it to make things happen. You are going to have to be with the nodes in Gemini, very strict with yourself because you're going to get sidetracked. You will be led to sabotage. Nodes in Gemini mean an overactive mind. It also can mean that we do need to be a jack of all trades to handle this year. Thank God we have the nodes in Gemini. You may need to do your job in one way and then the next day that does not resonate. I'll give you an example. The issue with staff in Queensland to try and get the farm's crops bought in is in the house of Taurus right now. And we have Mercury retrograde in Aquarius, Venus in Aquarius. What does that mean? They may need to think outside the box and get the seasonal workers from that state. Gemini, local, think outside the box. Innovation, Uranus and Taurus. It becomes our problem, right? The snow situation, Saturn and Aquarius, whose fault is it? It doesn't really matter now. It's done. What are we going to do now? It's done, right? What can we do as a community? Is that donating? Is that helping? Is that somebody on the ground actually doing something? The buck stops here. To grow, we have to work together. Metal ox, yeah, the rat's on his back. Unlikely ally, he could see. The ox could walk. Great. Make it work. Pisces. Well, I've got to put it in a humanistic form, and I'm going to be doing this more. I'm just going to be keeping it real. We're going to talk about the current trends of Mars. I'm going to pre-warn you what the themes are. You probably won't like Mars and Gemini, guys. I'm just saying. You're going to see the polarity in both. You're going to see the benefits and the detriment. And we've got a Forrest Gump. Life is like a box of chocolates. Okay, I don't know how good this is. Do you know why? Gemini relates to schools. Gemini relates to media and local industry. Now, what have we had with Mars and Taurus? We've had weather patterns. We've had agriculture and food and resource issues. Okay, and it's police. We've had, maybe the need for more people to work. A change in that, financial related, We've had Mars and Taurus. We've had a trend with Bitcoin. I'm going to try and keep you in the loop. Mars and Gemini is schools. Mars is electricity. It's also technology. It's communication. It's also different cultures, right? What else can it be? Yes, it can be agitation. I mean, what do we have as a main issue? At the moment, we're having the moon move into Virgo, and in a while, it's going to be a full moon in Virgo. We're going to have energy in Pisces, sun in Pisces. Okay, when we had Chiron in Pisces, there was aggression, psychology. We have major things to do with our psychology coming up in 2021. So you add school and Mars, the planet of war and police, which can be metal, it can be guns, and add that to Gemini. I don't know. That worries me. And that's only from a research point of view linking to astrology. You know, we just have to be, well, you can't stop things, but you can be mindful. You can turn up, you can think. But also it might be an overload of information, people fighting with war wounds. You know, Gemini, media. Don't get into it next month. Keep out of it. You're just going to add fuel to the fire. Pisces. Okay, Pisces, you are going to have an interesting week. And again, because you've got Aquarius on the 12th, everyone wants a slice of Pisces. You can't make everyone happy, right? You also may feel at times you want to be around people, then you don't. Now, Taurus is landing in your third house. Why don't people understand me? Why do people misinterpret? You may be guided to assist, help, mediate, moderate, but maybe people want you to listen, not necessarily give an opinion. And you're finding that difficult because, and this could be that it's not your fault, point blank zero. This could be that you're trying to talk to these individuals and they're misunderstanding you. You also could have issues to do with the vehicle. Trying to pay your service, trying to get around. Maybe you're going, you know, you're like your emotions of, I love everyone. Why can't we just be a big, happy energy? Anyone relate? Any Pisces in the house? Okay. Jealousy. Emotions, feelings, ego, you know. There also could be, gee, why can't I have nice things? You know, well, why can't I be spoiled? Why do people think the way they do? So how does it relate? You know, okay, you got third house. Third house can be to do with communication. Oh, sugar. You're like, stuff it. Can't make anyone happy. Everyone wants a piece of me. Look, to do with business, for instance. Post that 4 on the floor. That's a lot of cards, man. I can't give you that many cards. I'll be here for a whole hour, Pisces. Neptune at the moment, the dream. You are the dream. You don't understand it. You can make that dream happen. Let's have a look. Pisces. Okay. Second house resources. Please do not stress over what you have. It's a wound. It's not a truth. It's temporary. That they will be getting rid of school police in order to find more programs. What did they say? In our school district, it is announced that they will get rid of school police in order to fund more programs. Well, that's what I'm saying. Yes and no, but you know, if anything, it's going to show a problem. But it shouldn't be a problem. You shouldn't have to police the school. You shouldn't have to. Because the reality is Mars is police. It's also the planet of war. It's also electricity. It's energy. It's metal, iron ore. It's heat. It's fire. And in Gemini can relate to education, the jack of all trades, schools, your local industry, and policing that. So again, it could be us looking in the collective of going, okay, now that we maybe have, and this is just an example. It's not that I'm promoting it, declaring it. It's just a example of what could, because look, in astrology, it's not, okay, that is exactly how it's going to happen. It's a potentiality. It's a subject matter. It's a theme that could come up. There could be circumstances relating to innovation. The power could go out at school. Okay? It could be, okay, the quality systems now, the legislation is going to be, I mean, we've got it now. PPE, washing your hands, you know, how many people per premises, example. Or it could be other things, but it's also media. It's also to do with multiple views, and it's Mars. We need to understand we all have different views, and it's always going to be so. There could be anger in the collective relating to, why can't we speak our truth? There could be. Well, we already feel it. It's muted, right? And how can that be controlled? How can it be shared? How can it be viewed collectively that we can have a say with integrity without being muted? And it's a fact coming up at the moment, because the South Node's in Sagittarius. which is to do with the reason that journalism is changing is because the South Node's over there, and it could be dying as we know it completely. Because, I mean, how many people over the years stopped watching? Because we wanted to see a happy story as well. And was it only, again, as I mentioned, it was one side of the story. What was the other? What was the other person's story? Was there a good story this week, place? Do you want me to put my child in front of that television to go, hey, this world's a great place? Probably not. Viewpoints. Next. Pisces, let's see. Aries is falling in his second house. Second house, yes, you may have wounds to do with, okay, do I have enough? Gee, I've worked so hard and back at square one again and I'm building it bloody up again. Money coming in. Don't stress. It's temporary. Oh, well, it's an us issue. That's why I just don't vibe. You don't vibe the tribe, don't stay. Do you know what I mean? It's like, does that resonate with you? Don't deal with it. It's not worth it. We have control to make the world the way we want it to be. We can get in the rat race of, being lower frequency and whinging about it and getting into he said, she said shit. Or we can go do something about making the world a better place, which is every step we take each day. Pisces, okay. Innocence. Okay. You may be having a brand new beginning, so do trust that. Do you like my nail that my twin broke? Cheeky bugger. Now, it's got a story behind it. I will not share. I won't share. It's not like that, though. It's not what you think. Okay, Aries in the second house, Taurus in the third. Now, you may be emotional and frustrated to do with how the heck do I do what I'm doing? Now, you may not have the tools or resources. Technology might be an issue at the moment. You might get frustrated to do with that. Your car might break down. You're getting frustrated. You may have, oh my gosh, am I going to be okay financially? Does that make sense? It's a brand new beginning. Any flaws that's showing to you, it's temporary, and I do feel a slingshot effect. So just trust the process. I do think it's going to work out for the best. But your thoughts to do with what you're going to need, it might be to do a job, for instance. It's okay, this technology isn't working. Wait till the 21st. Don't do it yet. Tune into it. Address it. Try and work with what you have. This Mercury retrograde showing you flaws in systems, but it's going to give you creative solutions. Emotions could be coming up because you're frustrated. Your phone might not work. You're needing to have these things. You might feel your home's turning into a job place. That's the South Node in Sagittarius. North Node, Gemini. It's like we're turning into a workplace. And trying to find that's pretty triggering. It's challenging. Happy birthday. Any of you coming up with a birthday? My beautiful love, my mother's birthday's coming up. Happy birthday, Mum. She's a Pisces, cusp Aquarius, fun. Poor things. Leo. I know you're in here. You know who I'm talking about. Let's see what's coming up for Leo. Okay, Leo. Education, I guarantee. Okay, you have Aquarius in the 7th. Now, the lucky thing was we had the full moon, so emotionally you were like, I'm not that person anymore. I can't do everything for everyone. You've got Aquarius, in Mercury and Venus at the moment, so you'll look at marriages, contracts, partnerships, guys. Plus, because you have Aries on the 9th, you're like, you may have wounds to do with people moving away. You might have wounds to do with schooling and education system. You may have wounds to do with your siblings, and it could be your kids being siblings. It's stress. It's a stress tension point. Leo Nix, yes, I was talking about you. And hello, Jen. Okay, what else can I see in your chart? Now, the let go of, it could be causing health issues. You're like, is this healthy? This is driving me crazy. Do I need to let go of this? Am I doing the best? What do I do? It could be, again, because Scorpio's on the 4th, there's an environmental, have you outgrown your home? What can you do? What are you going to do? Number one, because you have Aries near the 9th, and then you've got Taurus in the 10th, it's Mars, you've got wounds relating to that. Now, 9th house placement can be to do with networking. It can be doing things via social media. It might be that you're dealing with foreign clients and things like that at a separate level if this is business related, but it is to do with your career at the moment. So you may be thinking to yourself, right, I know that both, and again, okay, let me break this down. Number one, you've got Scorpio on the 4th, which the shadow sign of Taurus is Scorpio. Something inside home and your routine needs to change. Something may not be vibing with the tribe or you. It's like it's just not working. Does this environment work? Is it home? Are you wanting something better? Are you wanting to move? You could be concerned about your stability, and it could be tying up loose ends and emotions. But you're following your intuition. You do have a great relationship with children if you have children. If you can step back enough to actually observe, you will find a creative problem, and you will find a solution to that problem, okay? Because you're very intuitive, but you need to get grounded to observe it. You need to step back. Now, you also have 9th house Aries. If it's siblings, if it's your family, if it's, you want to move and you want to go abroad and you just want to go, you may be worried about those circumstances as well. If you're networking and it's business, again, trust the process is temporary. Is it a memory, a trigger? Let it go. Deal with it differently. You may have news from far as well. Some of you value systems can be coming up and they're different. So it could be tension points there. But you do have themes relating to your work coming up. Now, some of you may want to have a better job, may want to move, and it depends on the industry. It could be health and beauty. It's Taurus. It could be, wanting to have more money, wanting to gain more money. Okay, I already pulled a card for you. Okay, something's shifting. Something is shifting. It's almost like you're having to take yourself out of the cold of a situation, but you might be thinking, oh, God, no, calm down. I do feel you're accepting something. It's like it is what it is. Is it my fault? No. Did you do the best you could? Yes. What do you do now? Now, that sounds really simple, but because it's Mars, it's going to feel painful emotionally. Just move through it, but also, you're not willing to live like that permanently. So whatever that shift is, whatever that change, and, we were warned that Uranus and Taurus squaring Saturn and Aquarius could be a painful transformation. The shadow side of it is our fear of endings, our fear of death, instability, our fear of having to let something go because it doesn't resonate, and it could be tribe energy because it's Aquarius. It's giving me a headache. And the Tumble, when we were talking about Giggle's bed, has it turned up yet? It bounced off the table. I still haven't picked it up, and I wanted to put it on my third eye. I'm like, oh. Moving along. Look, it will pass. It's an end of a relationship doesn't mean it's over. It just means an ending, and sometimes it's just mentally third eye. Okay, I don't want to do that dance anymore. If you want to dance with me, it's a different song. If it's a different song, that's fine. I don't like that song. I've heard that. Now I'm hearing Beetlejuice in my head. Beetlejuice. It's a bit like, daylight come and you want to go home. No. Okay? Yeah. Aries, first house placement. Now, stop worrying about your cash. Stop worrying about your land. You guys could be thinking of that. Net worth. You're more than money, Aries. You're more than money. Some of it could be guilt to do with the fact that maybe someone's been taken from you. You're having to rebuild. It's like, God, what is this going to cost me? Some of you might be going through divorces and, lawsuits and things like that. Not yet. Don't worry about money. You're more than money. You're more than money. This is the gold digger card. You got second house placement in Taurus. You will have success. Some of you maybe are worried because maybe you don't like your job. Maybe you're going, oh, God, this pays really well, but I freaking hate it. That's okay. You're more than money. You do you, what you think is right. If this is relationships and you feel people aren't appreciating you, emotions, moon in Taurus, you're always taken from me. It's a bit like, what was that show where the father's sitting in the room, love and money, love and marriage? And he's like, you know, you're more than money. Is there an Aries in the house? Who's in the house? Who's the Aries? Hit me, baby, one more time. These songs at the moment are driving me a little bit crazy. Okay, are you the Aries? Oh, look, it's Giggle's bed, trust me. That's high vibe. She a Libra. We have this innate trait of, we can be thrifty, right? We're practical. But if we want quality, we will work. That's why I said I put a song up on Facebook for, Libra. And it's like, if you want it, you'll make it happen. You'll find the balance, you'll make it happen. This is going to be cushy, puffy, high, luxurious. Love and light, Giggle. I'm coming for a visit. Okay. Aries, like I said, there's something to do with money coming up. Okay. Big casino. Thank you. Okay. I will put on the photo, I'll put the evil eye so there's no evil intent sent, right? We're going to thumb it and I'll smudge it for you. It'll be the best. I know, Giggle. And she's a Libra like me. So I went past a diamond ring one day and it was just, I saw it and it had a love heart and it had lots of little diamonds around it. I was like, and it was just more from a purely, wow, that's a very pretty ring. And I went up and I went, dang, girl, you got expensive taste. It was $139,000. I was like, you're a Libra. Now, would I buy it? Probably not. Now, if I was a millionaire, probably not. I don't know. I don't think so. Okay, shadow sign. Okay, the need to balance. Be practical at the moment, Aries. Okay, the reason is because you need balance, but you can't make that happen in other people. If they're not balanced, that's a them issue. Okay, it takes a tribe to work. Look, I will say in an energy sense, I'll finish this and bring the bed up again from protection and energy, Giggle, and I'll mention it. I'll write it down here, bed. Because there's energy to do that. We'll talk about that later. Okay, the next zodiac sign, Sag. What's coming up for you guys? And then we've got, Virgo, Capricorn, and Taurus, and I'll answer some questions. How long we've been in the thick of it here. Okay, so Sag, number one, you've got the South Node in your first house placement, which means you're changing, and that can feel really scary. I should be a bed salesman, right? Yeah, we'll go into bed sales. Any providers? Promotion. This is not a promotion video, by the way. This was just a conversation. Where am I, Sag? Oh, heck. Okay. Family, creative endeavors, your children, if you got kids, they're probably driving you nuts. Your childhood, your family. Wow, why when I do something it never works? Because the South Node's in Sagittarius, guys. So what you're going to find is sometimes it's not your fault. Sometimes it wasn't destined. It's not personal. Sometimes it's Mercury Retrograde. It could be your family-related dynamics. You love it and you're pouring your energy into it. It's a temporary shift. You do have at the moment, so your wounds are coming up from your fifth house. The wanting and needing to have some relaxed time. They're wanting to have quality, wanting a great love life, a great family life, quality, fun, not working all the time. Why do things not go according to plan? You could have emotions relating to that, but you need to pay attention to your health. Also, if you are working too hard or something emotionally is going on, I would highly, highly suggest healthy boundaries. You can't be everything to everyone, but because Taurus is there, be careful of eating, of pacifiers, of toxicity that you're putting into your body, because you could more emotions could be coming up relating to that, right? Maybe somebody's buying expensive things and you're like, we can't afford that. Maybe you're working hard. Maybe you're giving and not getting. It could be vice versa. But Taurus is lavish. You know, so, but do pay attention to healthy boundaries at the moment, but also, you know, come correct, because emotions come from moon. Try not to emotional eat, because it's going to affect your health. If you find that you're getting tired, look after yourself. Let's get a card first. Sag, please. Yep, you got it. Also, you know, you could be scared about money. So you're like, no, we're not buying this. We're not buying that. You know, just calm down. Sometimes it can be overactive. Sometimes it can be underactive. So it depends on how it is. You know, you're trying to create the balance there. This could be family, projection. It could be work. It could be circumstances. Maybe they're asking you to use cheaper materials and you're like, no, it's going to break. Just an example point. Any Sag in the house? Capricorn. Any Sag in the house? My neck wants to crack again. I'm telling you. Jeez. Okay, now all of you have these houses as well. So it could be a food for thought while you're operating side of your relationships. For instance, if you've got a certain zodiac sign, look at it and see how you could be emotionally feeling and where the challenges could be coming from. Especially the moon. Have a look at where your moon is and look at these, because that's your emotions. Yes. Okay, Capricorn. Okay, there could be a lot that you're trying to deal with when it does come to your resources, your money, and everyone wants a piece of the pie. YILDIZ astrology and bed sales. Well, I would actually be a great bed salesman, because after what I tell you, everyone's going to want to buy a new bed. Don't say anything, giggle. Yeah, gone and started it already. We'll talk about that in a minute. Okay. Oh, heck. Okay. There's something in a way. Okay. Capricorn, there might have been a hope and dream that you need to let go of. There might be something that you're feeling you're doing that you just don't value right now. Also, when it does come down to it, I feel as though, you know, you're not having value in things the same way. You may not feel like you want to be in the rat race anymore. So because you've got Sagittarius in the 12th, maybe you'll be thinking about it. And maybe the way you look at it now is this job worth it? Is this circumstance worth it? Is it going to go anywhere? So yes, pay attention to your psychology, but it's a good time to journal. Because you have Aries in the 4th house, there could be emotions relating to home and family. Abandonment could be coming up, but also, again, to do with your childhood and children and wanting to give them the very best. It might be you not having the best in life and you know, value systems relating to that. Now, with a creative project, you may need to really focus on that. Are you emotionally invested in it? Are you actually taking time to, you know, go and do things that it doesn't have to, you know, you might be looking at a hobby that you have and finding that you don't resonate with it. It's costing way too much and you just don't feel it resonates any longer. So it could actually be, you know, really beneficial for you at the moment. I feel you're pretty relaxed, and it may be a little bit like, you know, everyone in family might be fighting at the moment around you, and you feel like you're just looking at it going, are you joking? I'm going to pull a card for you. Let's see what comes through. I feel you paid your dues. That's sort of what's coming through. You paid your dues and you're like, look, I want to have a life. Can I please have a life? There you go. People are jealous. I will elaborate. It's okay. Any Capricorn in the house? Eddie, where are you when I need you, Eddie? Capricorn. Or do you have Cancer? I'm pretty sure it's Capricorn. I don't know, man. It's Mercury retrograde. YILDIZ readings can be forgetful sometimes. Okay, so number one, I think there's a bit of a shift emotionally. I do think you maybe can be really turning into wanting to have a bit more luxury, looking at, there could be circumstances with kids, with family. My partner's calling me now. It will pass, but emotion is there. Like you might feel that you're away and you really want to be with them and it's hurting and you want to have people around you, right? Make a phone call. Please make a phone call, connect in, have that interaction, have that exchange. Don't place yourself permanently in hermit mode. You may want to talk about some of your ideas that you have, but maybe second guessing yourself. That's due to conditioning. Don't second guess yourself. Yeah, it's like taxing. Okay, but there's something emotional coming up here for you guys. It will pass. It's like an emotional hallway we're walking through. It's like, next, Taurus, we're moving into Pisces soon and we're going to drink a lot of fluid at the moment. With Uranus and Aquarius, it's both related to crown chakra. You're going to be very thirsty. Drink and purge. Flush the toxins out. Incy spider. Okay, Virgo. Did I mention Virgo? Yeah, I did. So we're at Taurus. Taurus. Okay. Also, Virgo, again, pay attention to your health. Did I mention Virgo, Sean? I don't know. Because I missed them last time, apparently, but I don't think I did. I just want to make sure I don't miss it. I didn't. I did it. Is no, I didn't do it, or is no, I did do it? Well, because you're a Leo, you have Virgo in the second house, so you need to be careful, plus Mercury's there. Well, I'm asking you guys if I did it. If I didn't, I will say Virgo number one. I'm pretty sure I did. No Virgo. Didn't. Okay, let's do Virgo. We'll do Virgo. I'm going to highlight that because I'm not going to miss that again. Stupid. Virgo number one, you have health energy there. So you guys at the moment are needing to, with the sixth house placement, it's about healthy boundaries. Okay. Let's have a look at your chart. And I know it off my heart. Now, you've got Mercury there. Be careful what you eat. Be careful what you consume. Diet can be coming up at the moment. The reason I say that is because health is there and you have Libra in the second house. Now, because it's Mercury, it will relate to what you consume, what you're needing. It can be diet, health, the way you talk, people needing on you, emotions coming up. There's something to do with that coming up at the moment. Now, you do have Aries in the 8th, which does mean something is coming to an end. You need to tie up loose ends. It can be, this is unhealthy. It also can be facing our shadow because it's like, oh gosh, this could be, this is killing me. This is unhealthy. Getting medical in order. But it's also fear of that, that if you keep going, it won't be manageable. So this can be something happening at a psychological level, a physical and internal level, because there's Venus and Mercury, which is head and throat. So sometimes it can be merely not creating healthy boundaries and it's affecting you. Sometimes it's emotions and you're consuming it. It could be also with Virgo. When we have the full moon in Virgo, all of you pre-warned, you can tend to get tummy bugs more so. Wash your hands a lot more because Virgo is relating to health and astrology. So, PPE, wash your hands, keep clean, make sure your diet's in order. So if you guys suddenly are doing things to do that, it's because Virgo is the house of energy of cleanliness and diet and nutrition and health. The devil in the detail. So because you guys have at the moment, let's have a look at your chart. Again, third house placement, Scorpio, you need to change of diet, change of way you are doing things. This could be due to a circumstance. Some of you may have a fear of death. And the reason I say that is you got Aries in the 8th. So you could be over the top with it, or it could be, it could be either way how it goes. But it's almost like tying up loose ends, coming to terms with something. It's like, this isn't working. Maybe I'm allergic to this food. Maybe it just doesn't work. But also when it does come down to work, it is like actually noticing where other people are affecting you. And you've been working really hard and trying to get things done, but it's like the external, Venus, your contracts, your commitments. It's like been a bit overwhelming. And also because we had it in Venus and Mercury, you're thinking and dealing with too much. Yes, okay, it's going to affect your health. You can't do everything. So the need to look after self, the need to be practical, the need to share those responsibilities, but also the need to actually pay attention to creating those healthy boundaries and circumstances so that it doesn't directly impact your foundation, your health, your success in your career, etc. In the year of 2021. You also do have Taurus landing in your 9th house. Now, belief systems, subjects to do with kids can be coming up, wanting to go to a foreign country. Do I have the money? There's big goals you've got. Some of you may actually think about maybe going back to school and wondering what your role in a circumstance is. Are you on path? Are you in the right career? So it could feel a little bit like an existential crisis, but it's temporary. It's a tune-in. But there could be something at the moment where you're thinking, about moving, going somewhere, or a wound relating to it. Some of you even could have wounds relating to, I don't think that would be a wise move. And there could be a lot of protection. There could be paranoia emotionally. Again, you do have at the moment, let's look at your 12th house, the reason why that might come through. We did have the full moon in Leo. I think you're just being rational with you. You're looking at the devil in the detail and you're saying this doesn't make sense. So whatever it is you're currently dealing with, be it it's children, school, health, diet, you are looking at, okay, let me have a look at this. Now, the funny thing is, this is a big transit for you already. It's kicking off due to the fact that we're going to have the full moon in Virgo. So yes, it will happen to your 1st house, which means you will have the power to change that. Now it's happening for you or to you, however you want to take it. Now, you might think it's bad luck, but it could be, no, something has to change, and that's why this is happening. It's happening for you to change your life. But it's also, it's the whole picture. It's never one thing. And I think in life it never is really one thing. In order to get that balance, where's Libra? 2nd house of your self-worth, your finances, your money, your self-esteem. It can be emotional. You could be saying to people, look, this isn't fair. This is not fair on me. This isn't fair on my health. And you could be saying this to yourself as well. Okay, I can't be mean to myself. I need to start looking after myself. I need to be more practical about my psychology, my emotion, my body. This is my car for the rest of my life. People can come and go. People can say yay and nay, but if the plane's going down and you're putting the gas mask on everyone else, you ain't going to be around. You got to put it on yourself first. You come first, others second. That's the way it goes. Card, please. And then we'll do Taurus. I did do Capricorn, didn't I? Yep, got to take the bull by the horns. And it's funny because this is Taurus. Taurus is landing in your movement, making it happen, changing your viewpoints, looking at different things, being on mission, but also keep the communication open. Don't run, deal with it. Face it head on. Take the bull by the horns and deal with these things. The emotions may make you want to run. Don't stand in it. Look at it. Go, okay, what's their part? What's my part? What can I do within my power? Did I do Capricorn? Crack. I'm telling you, these days just fly. I think I did Capricorn. I did, didn't I? Yes. Okay, we're doing Taurus. North Node in Virgo. Yeah. Well, the North Node in Virgo. Interesting. The need to work with analytics, the need to deal with health details. It's your destiny, which I know the career industry you're working in, so it's quite good that you're working in that area. It was your destiny. But, you know, managing businesses and things like that, that's your destiny. Understanding people. Sometimes you can find it's very yes or no. That's it. Which is, and you've got Leo as well. So it's business owner, health-related industries would work very well. Okay, so Taurus, number one, this is your first house placement. You can have emotions at the moment. You might feel people are ganging up on you. You could accidentally project today. Plus, you have Mars there. You might have a lot of energy, but maybe have nowhere to use it, right? And this could cause issues because if your emotions aren't channeled in the effective manner, we could Mars people. So if you have things coming up personally, oh, crap. Okay, let's have a look. Let's have a look at your chart. I don't know why I'm picking pregnancy. Why am I picking pregnancy? Oh. Any Virgo, any Taurus in the house? Taurus, paging Taurus. That's okay, Leonix. You're most welcome, my beautiful. Okay, Taurus, we need to talk. Do we have a Taurian in the house? Number one, you do have the full moon in Virgo coming up. Pardon me. You may have a toxic energy around you at the moment as well. Let's have a look at your chart. Taurus moon. Oh, my Lanta. Okay, let's break it down. Number one, you have Aries transiting your 12th house. So if you feel everyone's angry at you, or maybe even you're angry, that could be coming back at you and your emotions can be coming up. You also do have vibes relating to emotions and endings to do with creative endeavors, romances, children, and luck. So if you feel a circumstance is coming to a head and you're trying to resolve it and trying to balance it, you know, there could be tension there because we are going to be having the full moon in Virgo and it's about closing a cycle. This could be just effectively balancing things out with kids. It could be, okay, where do I need to get the business so that, bang, I can have things in order, your creative projects, but tie up loose ends relating to, yeah, true. Well, you know, it's in the Bible, right? It can happen. It can. Co-creative energy is really, when you think about it, it comes from within. So it could be an analogy relating to manifestation of creativity, which is energy. Really, it could be a bit like Nostradamus, you know, written in tongue. You got 3 kids. So what I'm saying, you've got the birth and legacy and inheritance and the emperor. And this can be to do with pregnancy, fertility, you know, your family. And again, it's bloody Virgo. Okay. Some of you might fall pregnant. Those of you that had a miscarriage at any point in your life, there might be an emotion relating to this coming up at the moment. And it's about making peace with that. You know, some of you might have wanted kids and you're coming to terms with that psychologically. Others of you, again, it's to do with your childhood. It's like, you know, you're trying to come to terms with your childhood and things like that. Now, 5th house is having luxuries, having more fun, being playful, being that inner child, starting a new chapter in your life. I've got 5th house placement. I'm like, I haven't started doing that yet. I mean, apart from on here. But it can be making tarot cards, you know, it can be creative pursuits, or it can be your children, your romance, your luck. But there's something coming up that you're going to have to tie up in a sense at an emotional, spiritual level. So you got the, you know, the manifestation card. Yes, twin did that. I'll just, and the key to it, you can step into your power. This is going to be manifested, but emotionally you need to purge. You need to make peace with something. For you, let's have a look. Now, Let's see where Aries is. Number one, pay attention to your psychology. Self-fulfilling prophecies, fighting yourself, feeling you need to do something, maybe going back and forward. Should I, shouldn't I, should I, shouldn't I? Don't second guess yourself. Don't keep playing that story over. Did you hurt that person? Was it your fault? Was it something you did? Maybe wounds relating to that. You know, whatever that psychology is, you know what I mean? It's like just try and pause on that. Now, separately, I would say your career sector is set to grow, but maybe you're second guessing yourself. Maybe you're feeling that can't be so. Now, creatively in the next 2 weeks, I would say, because we're going to have the moon and we're going to have sun transiting Pisces, would be the best time to tune into creative ways that you can actually look at a business venture, look at a hobby, look at something that you're wanting to do. But I do feel that's coming in the next few days. At the moment, emotions are coming up. Very much like, how do I do that? How do I feel about that? Okay. Yeah. Okay. Now, as for the bed, we'll answer that and then I'll leave here. If any of you are wanting super chat, I'll jump on and do a super chat and close it. Eddie, I'll be looking for you. Okay, Eddie, I've got a bone to pick with you. You were late for a very important day, okay? We have Eddie in the house, everyone. Now, are you Capricorn or Cancer, Eddie? I can't remember. I was like, is Eddie Capricorn or Cancer? Or do you have both? At the moment with X's, guys, because we have Aquarius, we've got Venus in Aquarius, and we also have Mercury Retrograde. It's an intuitive thing. Don't make any major decisions. I mean, if you know it's poo, that's different, okay? I'm just saying it's an intuitive energy, an emotional purge, an emotional, oh, wow. I just went, you know, it's like companies doing an audit. Hi, Jen. How you doing, doll? I've been thinking about you the last few weeks, Jen. Hello, Mermaid Wishes. Okay, so as for the beds, okay, this is from a spiritual point of view because, as I said, I'm a psychic medium. And, you know, from doing energy work, the one thing I will say, yeah, I'll do the super chat on a separate video. So, I mean, look how long this video is. People look at it and they're going, I'm not going to look at this. It's too long. So with beds, number one, if you have been intimate with a person in a bed, it's energy. Now, if, for instance, you were married and you had a bed and you had that person in that bed, you brought their energy in. At a basic level, yes, you can cleanse it. But if you had a very, very long relationship with them, my highest of advice to set the new intentions, the best time to get rid of it is a void moon, right? Burn that baby down. Is because you are bringing that old energy into your new life. So a lot of times, sometimes we take old things with us, cleanse it, change it up a bit, change the demeanor of it so it's new. It's your new. But with a bed, it's energy. Your body is in it. You're vibrating in it. You're filling it with energy. If you had a very, very toxic relationship, that is full of shit. Okay. And you're going to continue to attract that into your life. So bed sales are going to go off the hook. I am always very cautious as like, this is my bubble. That's my meditation room. My bed is my temple. It's even my bedroom. It drives my daughter crazy. I do not let people in my bedroom. That is my sanctuary. From an empath point of view, you need a location for your soul to rest. The way you set your room up is very important, and I'll do another video based on it. For you, if you're going through ascension, yes, in feng shui and with energy work and psychic development, you know, I've been doing this for I'm 44. Okay, I've had this all my life. I've been developing it. I've had to learn how to work with it without teachers. I've had to understand what worked, what didn't. Mirrors in bedrooms. I don't like mirrors. I really don't. My Nostradamus used to scry on mirrors. It was cleared, it was cleansed, and it was covered with a black cloth. And it would only be open to his eyes, and he would clear it and he would close it because it's channeling. So a guided channel meditation, how do you get into it? Number one, in a Mercury retrograde, when you're sleeping, I'm going to do bed sleeping videos to give you how your sleeping domain is. I'm probably going to give vibes relating to your finances and astrology. Hi, Andrew. How are you doing? Big shout out to New Zealand. So, in energy work, in your bedroom, if you have your feet, so just picture you're lying in your bed right now and your feet are at the end of that bed. Now, some of you might have wood posts at the end of that bed, and that can actually help with psychic protection. But if you don't, and it's just the mattress and your feet potentially lying down would be facing a wall, you need to make sure where your face are pointing to, you do not have a mirror. You also need to make sure you don't have a TV and a shiny surface that is facing your feet. And if you do, put something over it before bed. If you've watched paranormal activity, yes, that has happened to me, which I do find pretty odd. And I have had times where I've had psychic attacks and I actually have not had anything at the base of my feet. It has been a normal bed. It's been in a friend's house. We had gone out and had drinks, and this is another reason why some of you can get psychic attacks. So, when we talk in the spiritual community to do with drinking, drugs, alcohol, and things to that degree, what can happen is if your body and auric field is depleted, you're more vibrationally vulnerable. And we know that because sometimes, for those of you who go to extremes, it'll be like, heck, where am I? So you will get stuck in the 4D, and you can be more inclined to have psychic attacks, paralysis, and things to that degree. So the first step would be make sure if you've left a relationship, when you can afford it, smudge it at the moment. When you can afford it, yes, get a brand new mattress. It will bring new energy into your life. You can use crystals to balance it, and pink tourmaline to heal, okay? Pink tourmaline. Tourmaline for psychic attacks, especially if you haven't had it. But don't bring, it's a bit like having a one-night stand. It's like, that's really not going to help your love life, guys, because you're bringing all these multiple energies into your room and you're like, and they're taking all their problems and their guides into your bedroom. Anywho, so the reason why it doesn't affect you at a hotel, I'll tell you, is because you don't live there. You detox after. But when it's your home environment, it's permanent. You're bringing that in, okay? So, bed, don't face your feet to a mirror. If your feet are facing like this and the window is below the feet level and it would be pointing towards that window, don't put your feet there either. If you can, get a desk and put it at the end of your bed. If you can't, move it about. If you do have mirrors everywhere, what's that movie? Oh, you know the movie I'm talking about. Okay, good for you, Hugh Hefner. Right, I'm happy for you. No TVs, right? TV has a shiny surface. You can scry on it. Never, if you are sitting in a room or sitting in front of the TV and you're daydreaming, never daydream in front of a mirror or a TV or a shiny surface. You can have psychic attacks. You can bring energies in. You're channeling. You don't even know you're bloody doing it. So no window. Don't face your feet to an open door, and don't face your feet to a mirror. Point blank, zero. Clean mirrors regularly in your bedroom. Dark energy can get stuck in it. Every new moon, guys, clean up. You're bringing new energy in, air the house out, smudge the house out, do a jinn removal. You're bringing new chi energy in. You're bringing life force into the home. Fireplace at feet, not an issue. If it's shiny, maybe. Not an issue. It's more because glass surfaces are reflective and our psychic portal is through our feet. Window is an open. They even say when you're channeling, you should actually have a solid wall behind you. I'm used to it now because I've done this for many years. I work on my auric bubble and I can chuck it out. It's not going to stay with me. I've learnt to flush, so it's different. I got a bed frame, and that's another thing. Though the beds that are high, especially with your children, make sure the children's rooms are based that way. They're more psychic than us as children, and you'll know. And I'll just give you an example. If your children are having nightmares, I had a friend call me. I think it was an old friend of mine years ago, and he said, "Look, I'm having issues with my kids' YILDIZ. You know, what do I do? They're not sleeping." And he knew I was psychic. And I asked him the same questions. I went through the same. So if you want to have a reading with me and you're on your phone and you have any psychic situations in your house, yes, I can gauge it. So if you were to get on the phone with me and you did a Skype reading with me and you wanted me to look at the energy within your house and help you balance it, assess it, and tell you what to do, yes, I can do that. I can even show you how to set the room up via Skype. I'm happy to do that. I've had some really interesting bookings because I am a multiple faceted person. So anyway, he moved the children's room around and the nightmares stopped. Cupboards, don't have cupboards open in the bedroom. If you have a opening at the bottom of the bed, I'll give you an example. Bed, all right, and there's a space under here, fill it up. Fill it up. Yeah, it's okay to be on the side of the bed, guys, right? But keep it clean and don't stare in it. It can disrupt your sleep. If the mirror's here, if your feet are facing, and I'll put feet. Okay, feet. If your feet are facing a mirror, an open door, a window, your psychic portal's here. Why do you think? And I've had it. I've actually had my feet grabbed and ripped off a bed. So paranormal activity was exactly what I've experienced, and it's happened about 4 times. I've had energies in the room, and it does not protect you if someone has been there. So I've been at a friend's house, like I mentioned, and I was in the bed. There was an empty space under here. It was a metal wrought iron bed. It would have been another, and like I could interview her and she'll tell you because she could hear my heart coming out of my chest. We had gone out. We had a few drinks. It was a party. She knew I was psychic. I used to give her readings all the time. And her friends would come up to me at coffee shops and I'd go, oh my God, okay, this is getting a bit ridiculous. And I had people chasing me from the nursing homes, running out, nurses, doctors, family members. I had one newsreader come out to the car and I'm like, in Australia, and I was like, wow, okay. And she was like, YILDIZ. Gave her a reading, and that was for, I think it was SBS or ABC News, I'm not sure. Anyway, so what happened was we went out drinking, and being girlfriends, we're just girls, we were both single. She's like, heavy sleeper. We were just going to hang out and talk all night, fall asleep in the same bed. And it was like, I'm going to the other room, she said. And I went, okay, then, sweet, see you tomorrow. I started hearing noises and there was an energy in the house. And I was like, oh, and that's the problem. Sometimes when I see things, they won't leave me alone till I resolve it and then it stop. But the thing was, the bed could have been a secondhand bed. You bring secondhand items in, you need to neutralize them. Sometimes they do have attachments to them, and that energy that passed over was very attached, or a negative energy. It can be inside that furniture. So you should always make sure anything new you're bringing into the home that is secondhand, that you cleanse it, and you can put crystals in the room. So on this occasion, I woke up and I felt a heavy crushing on top of my body, and I was like, oh shit. And usually with a sleep paralysis, it's like you can't move. No, the blanket I felt a knee lean on the bed, and then the other side, and then I felt the blanket push me, and I went to the bed and I was coherent. And because I do work with energy, you have to be extremely firm with spirits and entities. Is leave, and you have I climbed into my heart like a million miles an hour before. This is what I've seen, and once we work through to resolve it, the energy was fine. But if you are psychic, you are more inclined to have spiritual attacks. So number one, I'm still developing my gift. B, people that come into your house, if you find the energy in your house change, you need to cleanse it, guys, because you, especially children, you'll find all of a sudden fights will happen in the house. Okay? So look at it like your house is a hyperbaric chamber. It's a neutral zone. If you find a demeanor in the house changing, open your windows, clear it out, put some crystals around the house, charge them off the new moon. Try not to do that with certain moons, and I'll try and get into a habit of doing videos based on that, because certain moons aren't appropriate for that kind of energy work. Does that make sense? So, bed. So, had things been under there, my feet were not facing out the door. My feet were not facing to a mirror, but substance, right? I had been drinking. So my auric field was down and the energy was not my environment. It was a different environment. So, you know, you can use crystals. If you were to say stay at a hotel, for instance, take some crystals with you. Neptune retrograde, pay attention, very 4D. What else? Under the influence of something, more likely, if you have a family member that is like that, when you leave their energy, you need to clear yourself before you go into your home. Psychic attacks and energies can be around them. There's nothing you can do. You can give them crystals, but that can come home with you. It tags onto you. You bring it home. If you tune into people, for instance, that may be a lower frequency, and this is not through judgment. It's like maybe they're struggling, maybe they're sick, maybe they're mentally ill. You're channeling that energy and it's coming into you. And this is why I always say you need to breathe in and blow it out, and then smudge your head. If it's too heavy, if you feel it, take your clothing off, go and have a shower, tune out of it for 20 minutes. Don't give it attention, because you're channeling it and it's going to come into your environment. Does that make sense? So when you're thinking on your twin, for instance, if they're dealing with a real toxic person, you're going to channel that energy too. So, for instance, a karmic, don't pay that karmic any energy. That's their soul path, right? Because when you channel it too much, their BS, that's in masculine's BS, that you're tuning into, you're bringing all of that into your home environment. So, okay to think about it, but then tune out of it. Give your mind a break. That's why the ascension process is so difficult, is because you're learning how to balance that energy. And it's for your ascension safety, so that you can handle that frequency. I generally don't have issues because it's not a permanency, you know, when you go to a hotel. But you can sage it. You can take a crystal. Just place the crystal in the bed. That's all you need to do. A little black tourmaline. Sweet. Sweet. Leave, shower when you get home. Don't bring the hotel energy home. Although, I mean, some of us would like to, the shampoos, right? And I don't think anyone who is traveling during COVID-19 will ever look at a bloody hotel again. I think the new trend industry is going to be a freaking caravan. It's like, nah, man, I'm going to a caravan. You make sage spray. Yeah. Okay, so did that help? I hope that helped. Did it help? Everyone's quiet. Crickets. This is the longest video. 2 hours? It is. It is. I love sage. Okay. I'm going to have a little break. Are we still awake or are we ready to go to bed? Because I need to have a little bit of a drink of liquid. Crown chakra, Uranus and Taurus. I hope that the energy of the moon transit is helping you get what's going on today and yesterday and what we're moving through. We're awake. Okay. If you do want a super chat, I'm going to have a mini break. I'm going to come back and I'll write it as super chat. I'll chuck a community post up. Please, thank you for liking the video. I appreciate it. Feel free to comment under it. Tell the next person who's going to jump on the video what this is about. I would love you to bits if you could do that for me, because then they know what the video is about. They're like, oh, what's all this caper? You know, 2 hours. Is this decent? Or does she just talk about herself? I don't know. I love yous. I'll be back. If you do, put a comment underneath if you want me to come back for super chat, and I'll come back as well.